severe weather risk, and again, we're kind of looking at a very similar setup. The upper energy that at one time looked like it was going to stay much farther to our north looks like it's going to be much farther down to the south. So a lot of the potential that we're going to be focused on tomorrow is going to be that line of storms that will be rolling through during the later afternoon and evening with strong winds associated. We'll even see strong winds before the line arrives, but also tornadic storms and a risk of more of the strong, long duration tornadoes has once again not only included the North Shore, but the hatched area. Again, that's the area that we're looking at the threat for the longer duration, the stronger tornadoes like we saw on Tuesday, to include the South Shore, north of the lake, and well into Mississippi. Again, the bullseye is primarily over Mississippi, but we do find all of the North Shore and southern Mississippi under that higher risk of a 4 out of 5. So here's, again, kind of a rough idea of the timing. Model has it moving toward the Baton Rouge area 4:30, quickly moving into the metro area North Shore after that between 6 to 6:30, 6:45, maybe starting to move into the metro area, certainly pushing through the river parishes and down toward the Bayou parishes, and continuing very quickly. Before 10 o'clock, I think most of these storms will be gone. Before 9, moving through the Mississippi, southern Mississippi counties, moving away from the Biloxi Marsh down toward maybe lower Jefferson, central Plaquemines, lower Plaquemines by about 10:30, and just about out of our counties in southern Mississippi. So again, this looks like a fairly fast moving line, but when it happens, it does not usually give you much notice. Again, we cannot tell you exactly where a severe storm will develop or exactly where a tornado is going to form and then track. All we can do is tell you that the environment is primed. So these are the types of areas that you would want to go into. When we tell you to get into that safe room and seek shelter, this is where you would want to go. A hallway, a central closet, a bathroom, usually any area that is away from all of your exterior walls. We heard a lot of people reach safety in Araby because of doing that. 81 degrees was our high today, well above the average, not quite to the record 2 years ago, 84. But it was a warm and humid day, and you could kind of tell that there's something setting up. This is that warm, humid air that is in advance of our system that'll be bringing in the storms later tomorrow. 70s to low 80s outside at the moment, and humidity is much higher with dew points in the 60s, and those values will continue to rise overnight because we have strong winds out of the south. Wind advisory is in effect for the North Shore. Winds sustained 25 to 35, gusting up to 50. We'll see stronger sustained winds of 30 to 40 miles an hour from the river parishes to the North Shore, and the areas that I have highlighted in pink, the lake and coastal waters, that is a gale warning for tomorrow. So strong winds, and that is before the line even gets here. We'll start to see increasing clouds during the overnight hour, and here's what we've been watching. There are kind of two distinct upper lows, one that is well across the high plains. It looked like that one was going to be more the dominant system, but here comes this other upper low at a much lower latitude, and it's going to be really this that helps to trigger those storms out to our west. And what's going to be happening is the base of this upper trough will be moving into eastern Texas before exiting out toward northern Louisiana and Arkansas. But this is where you're going to have most of the spin and wind shear, where the environmental conditions are primed for tornadic type storms. May see that out to the west as the line begins to move into Louisiana before the noon hour. And then here's kind of that primed tornadic environment as the line is moving in. Both sides of the lake do have the risk. The greater potential for more of a tornadic outbreak will likely be more into Mississippi, but we once again find ourselves kind of on the tail end. Again, it was only 2 tornadoes that we saw in our area last Tuesday, but those 2, Big Branch, thankfully didn't affect too many folks. And then, of course, moving right through Araby, we just cannot tell you exactly where they're going to form. If we had one that stayed out over the marsh, affected no one, all's well, but that doesn't always end up being the case. 80% chance of rain during the late afternoon and evening, then we dry out. For Thursday, Friday, might see some scattered showers by Saturday, but relatively quiet as we head through the weekend.